What's up, fight fans? And we are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am your host, Edwin, and we are back at it with another episode. I wasn't even gonna come on tonight, but I got a little bored. I was surfing the internet, and looking to see if anybody wanted to talk about some of these topics that are going on. What's up, Bam Bam Boogie? How you doing? Salute, family. How you doing? Chad out there, front line. Everybody checking in. Hector, how you doing? Blessings, my brother. Yo, listen. Today I'm going to do something. Today, in fact, let's see. All right, I just dropped the live chat link. If anybody wants to join live to the show, I welcome you. Just with respect, you know what I mean? If shit starts to go left, then I got to boot you. But if you know about boxing, you want to talk about boxing, you want to get some things off, I always respect and I always want to see someone else's opinion, somebody else's insight in boxing. I don't claim to know it all. I'm only one man. I have an insight in the way I view it, and I share it with you guys. And I ask you guys to comment back on whatever I'm talking about, whatever topic it is, so that we can learn from each other. So I'm always game to do, you know, to talk boxing always. And there's a lot of controversy right now going around in the sport of boxing, and I'm sure a lot of people have opinion about Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson, and his performance. People getting up and leaving, that can be misconstrued. I've seen people leaving sporting events to get their car to beat traffic all the time. People, those same people that got up and left could have been entertained, but it wasn't the fight like that where they felt like Shakur did win the fight and they were leaving. You know, you never know why people were leaving, but it was ironic that ESPN showed that, and that for me was, you always want to keep boxing, you know, up, why you want to hurt your sport. Shakur Stevenson did, in fact, box in that ring. What we're discouraged as fans about is we want him to be more dominant, more dominant. Shakur says he was fighting the fight, winning the fight. Why would he take chances? Why would he give this other guy chances? And some people can respect that. And I'm in agreement with it. You can respect that out of a boxer. But you see, here's where the dilemma lies. Then you can't just go walking around saying that you're the greatest fighter in the world and that you're better than so and so and so and so. Just say you're a great fighter and that you're doing the best you can. You love the support of the fans, and you hope to have a better performance. When you're putting all these expectations on yourself by the things that you're saying out of your mouth, well then damn it, people are gonna hold you to it. How you gonna be on a block and you gonna be like, man, if that dude came through, I smacked the shit out of him, and he come through, and homeboy next to you say, yo, I thought you said you was gonna smack him. Why are you mad at him for calling you out? You said that out your mouth. He just calling you on it. Yo, he right there. He's right there. Why you quiet now? You was saying when you seen him, you was gonna smack the shit out of him. He's right there. Oh, my man said he was gonna smack you. You mad at the person hyping shit up? He's only hyping shit up because you was talking that shit. You ever hear the expression, fuck around and find out? right? So when Shakur Stevenson's on interviews trying to tell the world there ain't no fighter better than me, ain't nobody doing it quite like what you mean? Tank Davis just knocked out Frank the Ghost Martin. He ain't never been knocked out in his career. He's knocking out fighters that ain't never been knocked out. And you going 12 round distance? And your last two fights? I guess you can't really be considered the best. So why you mad at us? Because we saying, Shakur, didn't you say? Why you mad at us? We're expecting to see the things you claim you can do. Whose fault is that? You see? So whether you want to base Shakur Stevenson's performance, whether you as a fan, you may like the sweet science, you may respect what Shakur Stevenson did in that ring because he did box well. I got to admit, he did box well, right? The guy didn't touch him that much. That's what boxing's fucking based on, isn't it? Right? But when you have fighters like Naoya Inoue, Tank Davis, Terrence Crawford, you guys remember that beating Terrence Crawford put on Errol Spence Jr., don't you? Errol Spence Jr. looked like he had lumps on top of lumps. He looked fake. He made, you couldn't tell that was Errol Spence Jr. after the fight. His own mama didn't recognize him. That's an ass whooping, bro. That is a beating of a man that has never been knocked out. Ever. 3 belts, undisputed world champion, Terrence Crawford. It was a master. It was hard to watch at times. That's what the best fighters in the world look like. As a matter of fact, they showed some meme on social media of Terrence Crawford sleeping in the audience. Like he was like, right? And I was like, damn, man, Shakur, what the fuck am I going to say? Although I felt like, he was fighting good, but he, Arnaminium, yo, he's a tough dude. But to tell you the truth, you had to disperse of him. You really did. I'm sorry. Yeah. If I'm going to hold you at the standard of the elite, you walk around with elite fighters. You claim to be an elite fighter. You claim to be a master of the sweet science. And then yet you're disrespecting your grandfather in between rounds because you and him are not in agreement. What's going on? Do you still have respect and love for the sport, Shakur, where you feel that you can still be taught? Are you at a point in the sport of boxing where you feel that you can't be told nothing? At what point are you going to see that there's honor in boxing and to have discipline, be humble and respectful in your craft would allow you to perform much sharper? If you're not arguing with your corner, thinking about rounds, thinking about the crowd, you're in tune with yourself as a fighter. It allows you to fight freely. Shakur was fighting much more in his head on that night. He was fighting the criticism, his grandfather, the way he was performing, how he was viewed. He was thinking a little too much that His performance suffered by it. When a fighter is in tune with himself and he has everything around him, all the noise quiet, he is one with his team, he believes in his game plan, he believes in his training, he's much sharper in the ring because all he has to worry about is the fight. And when you have a man that seems like, I think, I look, it's hard to speak for a person when I don't know him personally. Had I known Shakur Stevenson a little bit more, personal, and I knew things about him, I can more or less tell you, whether I lean, is it more mental or was it more distraction? It's that leads to mental too. But there's a difference. There's that mental block when the athlete just keeps striking out. Although he's a home run hitter, he just keeps, so I don't want, I would like to know, to talk to him more and I can get a better feel for where I think his head is at, you know. Uh, it's when you, the thing about reporting and about meeting people, I've noticed this in life. Life has taught me this, where that every time I meet a person, like at work, right? Like if I go to, like, I don't know, Home Depot or something, or Walmart or some shit, right? You get the lady behind the counter or something, or you're out about or whatever. What you see is their work personality. Whatever mask they put on to put on a smile to come to work, however they do it, people act like they got sense. They at work. They ain't gonna get fired, right? Okay. So that's who they are. When they get out of work and they put their head down, I'll tell you who they are. They a different person, right? So when you got Shakur Stevenson in front of these cameras at his job, he gonna tell you what you want to hear. I would like to know how he is when he's just chilling. When he's just, you know what I'm saying? I like to chop it up to get to know the, not just this persona he wants or everybody else thinks he is. I would like just to talk to the man, and get to know Shakur Stevenson more. And if I had the opportunity, I would. You know, um, Look, all fighters are not the same. Where does he go from here? Competition's only going to get tougher. He still is the world champion. He has a target on his back. People are coming for that belt. Whether or not he eventually fights Tank Davis, I don't believe that's Tank Davis's next fight anyway. So we can just eliminate that. I think that he's going to fight Loma. So you could probably pencil that in. It hasn't been officially announced. I heard that they were started negotiations already. How that works out, time will tell. But if I had to put my money on it, if I was a betting man, I think Tank's gonna fight Loma next. That's where I'm leaning to. I was looking up Naoya Inoue to see if they penciled anybody in. I went to Box Record, everything, my usual rounds to confirm things, and there's no one penciled in for him. So definitively, there's no one fighting Naoya Inoue just yet, and that's ironic because right after that Marlon Tapales fight, the only hiccup that they had was convincing Japan to lift the ban on Luis Pantera Nari. That was their only the hiccup. So Shingo and Naoya Inoue went to the people they had, the bigwigs in Japan, and they petitioned to lift the ban off Luis Pantera Nari, and they also made a request to see if they could have the fight held in the Tokyo arena, to open the arena doors back to a boxing match, because in fact they haven't held a boxing match in the Tokyo arena since Mike Tyson lost to Buster Douglas all those many moons ago. So yeah, I'm gonna start answering some of your chat. I'm gonna swing up, guys, see if you guys got anything to say here. So anything you guys to say, I'm gonna start checking, reading them all. So type now. Um, so like I wanted to see if they had a definitive opponent for him, and I talked about this, right? I said this. I said this. It was gonna be hard to get fighters to sign up to fight Naoya Inoue. It was gonna get hard to find opponents. I mean, and to get them to line up to be ready with his schedule, because he wants to fight like, no, I want to fight on this day. Give me if that guy's like, no, I need another extra, find me someone else, you know. And there's men out there that'll fight right now on a week's notice. Will fight him for those 4 belts. They'll give it a shot, but he doesn't want that. He doesn't want that kind of scrutiny. Like, okay, you're a big name, but you're just coming off of a fight, so your injury's got to heal. You're gonna force yourself to go into training camp, and then if he beats you, they're gonna say, "Well, he went in early." He doesn't want you to take away the credit, so he wants to pick the right opponent. Then on top of all of that, you got Bob Arum in Top Rank. And Bob Arum sometimes is like, because I think they had Marlon Tapale. I mean, sorry, they had MJ Akmadalia. And I think he was willing to fight him. And I think it was Bob Arum that shot that down. Bob Arum, from what I'm hearing, he just didn't think the fight was appealing. He said 12-11 record, fucking 1 loss. He was like, hell no. Just to market that fight, the guy doesn't have enough fights, to make it look, not every freaking boxing fan knows who MJ is, or let alone Naoya Inoue. They're going to be getting their introduction to Naoya Inoue, and you want them to look across the sheet and look at his opponent that only got 12 fights. Like, it's not going to look good for sales. You can put a guy with 34 fights, just leave the losses alone or whatever. But Naoya Inoue has never fought a guy, with more than 6-7 losses. All his opponents. He fought 2 opponents real early in his career that had 10 losses. Right? I think he fought one guy like that. The next guy had like 9 losses, and then that was real early. He's like 10 fights into his career, somewhere around there. But after that, nah. He doesn't fight a guy that has 7 losses in a title fight coming up that was not a contender. He doesn't do shit like that. You know what I mean? So, let me see. What's up? All right, it's going on. Be hard to get any guys to sign up for the Naoya fight. That's like signing up to get put to sleep. Yo, sleeping meds. If you got problems and you're not sleeping well then fight Naoya Inoue. You'll be asleep in no time. Ha! Yeah, I mean, yo, I just might have made a motherfucking promo right there. We might have to put that up, huh? Listen, Top Rank is doing a robbery per week. Yo, Top Rank's crazy, bro. They robbed that man with no gun, no mask. They robbed Shakur for don't listen. Y'all should have known that there was gonna be a robbery. The fights were held in Newark. In Newark, you get robbed all day. Every day in Newark. I there was going to be a robbery in Newark. So they robbed Shakur for that. I mean, Foster for that belt. Yo, you knew it was gonna be a robbery. The fight was in Newark, man. Yo, listen. Mad people lost money, bro. Mad people lost money. Shit ain't safe. You know what I mean? Running around in the streets in Newark. You know what I mean? You know you're going to get robbed. You know what I mean? Yo, but that speaks to, check this out, right? Top Rank wanted to rob him for that belt. What could have Shakur Foster done to avoid that? And could he have done anything to avoid that? Hell yeah. He could have knocked him out. What were they going to do then? That speaks to the guys that are going in there and not allowing it go to the judges' scorecard. The reason why you don't see fans walking out at a Tank Davis fight because it doesn't go to the scorecards. The reason why you'll never see the fans walking out of Naoya Inoue fights, them shits don't go to scorecard. You see? And that's the difference between these guys that claim to be the best and the best that are doing it right now. And you know, talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. At the end of the day, you got to disperse of your competition as you move up to prove that you are moving and you're above levels than everyone else. Isn't that what you should be showing? So look, Naoya Inoue is definitely, you know, yo man, I got to admit, he was right when he said that statement. Was he wrong to say something like that? That American fighters don't fight with that samurai killer instinct. You know what I mean? Some of them anyway. And because you can't say that about Tank Davis. You cannot say that about Terrence Crawford. You know, so there are some that, yeah, you know, and right now Japan is beating their chest with 10 world champions, current 10 world champions. Yeah, they beating their chest right now. You know, why shouldn't they? You know, if you can do that for your country and the men that are doing it, hey man, you know, I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater, but I am a competitor. I am a competitor. So US, come on, brothers. You know what I'm saying? We gotta step it up, baby. We gotta step it up and we gotta get some of these belts back home. You know, other than Terrence Crawford he's still technically a champion. So besides Terrence Crawford, Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis, uh, Oscar Collazo, uh, I forgot there was other ones I remembered. Uh, you can't count David the Monster Benavidez because he's an interim champion. But who else? You see, I can't name a lot of American champions, and that's my point. So I think that we need to start picking this up, get some champions and some more weight divisions because I believe that, you know, we took a bad hit in these last few months, losing Devin Haney's belt, losing Sabria Matias's belt, losing Foster's belt, losing who's the other champion that lost his belt? Uh, I know there was another guy, I forgot. But we have to get on our jobs, man, and start bringing some of these belts back home. What's up, baby? Tro, what's up? You used to be stopping Papa, you to stop. Yeah. You see, not with this kind of level of opponent, Shakur Stevenson shouldn't have went this kind of distance, this kind of war with. um, and then having the 5 weeks notice to prepare for a game plan for fighters such as Shakur Stevenson, coming off such a layoff, in fact, right, and saying that you had a lot of time to prepare. The excuse to your last fight was that you injured your hand and that you basically was a one arm bandit and that you had injured your hand, right? Okay. Um, so what was the excuse tonight? I mean, on that fight with Armenian, um, elite fighters, guys that are elite fighters, they really separate themselves from the other guys in the division by really dominating the division. Really like taking everybody out type shit. Like Errol Spence Jr. did, like Terrence Crawford did, like Naoya Inoue did. These are guys that were started to like clean out their divisions. But there's like no Superman in the world. Like there's not a guy that walked up and just beat out all the number one guys, all the champions in every single weight division. You're about to get criticism to if you jump one weight division and didn't happen to fucking clean out everybody else. You're always gonna have that one fan or two fans that say, "Hey, you didn't beat everybody in the division because these guys were there." You know what I mean? But you know, a man is only a man. He can only fight one fight at a time. And depending on what he's achieving during his fights, that's what he's based on. That's what you're judged on. If the fans are asking you to fight this guy, but you're going on and fighting who? A champion? For what? A belt? And you win the belt, the fuck am I gonna be complaining about? You this other guy wants you to fight him. I'm cool with you knocking out the champion and getting the belt put around your waist. So opinions are like assholes. Everybody has an opinion. You know what I mean? But if you're actually doing championship shit, then that's tough because a lot of fighters get scrutinized by saying, there's some people that say Ryan Garcia didn't even deserve that fight against Devin Haney to begin with. He shouldn't even have been in the ring with Devin Haney because technically he didn't deserve it. Then by not deserving it, look at everything that came out of that. You see what I'm saying? That there's some fans that are like, yeah, he deserved it. Yeah, Ryan Garcia, yep. Yeah, money wise, all this other stuff. And you see, so you're always going to get fans that some fans are going to be okay with what you do, and some fans might not like what you do. You know, I can't honestly say that I was happy watching the fight with Shakur Stevenson and Artem. I didn't want him fighting him anyway. I didn't want to see that fight. It's not like Jerron Boots in his situation. It's not like that. Where that Jerron Boots Ennis was going through a promotional company. He's been out of the ring because of contract issues. He wasn't getting the fights he was promised. And he's making a ring return of an extensive time laid off. And he wants to get back in the ring and get back into action. That's a different scenario. Shakur Stevenson fought the fights inside of the weight division. He's been offered 4 belts at the weight division that he's in. He won a belt. It's time to see him fight the best. That's a different situation. You see? So 4 months later, still talking Ryan Haney. And these people are crazy out here in this fucking social media. They're not letting it go because it went from the fight to the PE scandal, from the getting the O removed to going to court to Ryan get on. It's just like It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, let's just get over it. But since Ryan got suspended on this, we're not gonna see him for a year. The last fight you got to talk about, had Ryan Garcia got in the ring with someone else and Devin Haney get in the ring, I think we could get past all of this. But fucking Devin Haney opted out to sit on the shelf until he gets back. Like, and I don't even think he wants that smoke anyway. He should just move on. Just go, man. Just do something else, brother. I really think he should fight Sando Martin. I think Devin Haney should still opt to, until that fight officially gets announced, and like the venue and everything, and they stamp their names on the ticket. I think Devin Haney has until like before that. If I was Devin Haney, I would still stay in contact with the WBC, and I think I would take that Sando Martin fight. You know, uh, get 3-4 months of training, put it out for 3 or 4 months, then you'll get that 1 month in between. That's enough time, and Devin Haney can get back into the ring. Uh, that 6 months from now, Ryan Garcia will be coming around what? Uh, Roughly 4 months left, and you could still be in the gym coming off your last fight and being ready. Now, where Ryan Garcia comes back, is he going to be in shape? I mean, is he going to be able to just jump in the ring a few months after the year suspended? Or is he going to need more time? Is he going to need 8 more months, 6 more months to train? So that'll be a year on top of 6 more months, 8 more months. What are we looking at? It's best that Devin Haney stays active anyway, and if you want to put yourself back, into that category of men that are the best that are doing it, well, then you need to go out there and perform. It seems like some of these boxers want everything handed to them, and they start pouting. Oh, wham, 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 wham. I want to fight for the belt when I want to fight for the belt. I want to do this when I want to do this. They forget this is your job, and we as the fan, we pay to see these fights. We pay tickets, we airports, and fucking hotels to go to support you. We want to see a fucking fight. And I'm not going there to see you run around. No. As Keyshawn Davis found out, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Keyshawn's good. Keyshawn's good. But the guy he was fighting can take a punch. He can get cracked. Yeah, and he was wild. And he's like a bully type fighter. And his pressure is that of a mentality of a bully. And he's going to try to test your will as a fighter to see if you break and you get scared of him still like walking through your punches type shit. That can intimidate a fighter. And you can really like be like shit and get scared of it. Like you just don't feel like you're hurting them. So a fighter has to be taught and trained. It's not about that. Yeah, you took my punches. Great for you. I have a few more here for you. Come get it. Just stay calm. Keep cracking them. Eventually, he's not going to be able to take all them punches. He's a human regardless. At the end of the day, there are some humans that are tougher than others. Yes. Yes. And there are situations where you just don't hit hard enough to hurt this type of human. Yes. But if you're in a boxing matches and you're playing with rules, one, he ain't going to kill you. Two, you can now try to outpoint him. There's another way to fight. If you were in the street and I was cracking a dude for like 3 or 4 minutes, he's walking through everything, well, then fuck it. I might have to kick out his kneecap and might kick him in the balls or something, break his nose with a knee, something else. Because eventually, apparently, my punching power ain't stopping this dude. But there's other ways to take him down. I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to be like, oh shit. No. When I was younger, yeah, that might have happened, right? As I got older and I've been in fights, more experience, you realize there's just other ways to win. I've seen dudes that, yo, they stand up is trash. Yo, straight garbage. That motherfucker will drag you down and choke the shit out of you. No problem, bro. But his stand up, yo, is you he got touched up too much and got knocked out a few times because he fight like a wrestler, like this. He's like, come on. Like, I would tell her, like, yo, you can't. And then when he tried to do this and the dude threw a punch, they knew right away because of his awkward movement. The dude threw one punch and he would go, and he gave it away. I'm like, bro, be cool. Be cool. He throws a punch. Be cool. As long as he thinks you know what you're doing, he has to figure that out. And that's what fighters do in rings. And that's what I speak of when a fighter is testing the intelligence of the fighter in front of them. You got to do a couple things, make sure that you're moving right, make sure that you're not stupid, that like, you ever see that what is it, 3-move checkmate in chess? Like, it's the pawn up, bishop, uh I think you move up your horse and then the queen comes in. No, it goes pawn, bishop, queen, like checkmate. And if you don't know what you're looking for and you're young playing chess, this guy will checkmate you in 3 moves. So when a person does that to me in chess, he's testing my chess skills. I set up the defense to counter that right away, to let him know you ain't getting me with that shit. Same shit in boxing. He's testing you to see if he can catch you with that 1-2 checkmate, right? Put your lights out. And when you be like, nah, baby, nah, I'm a bit more seasoned than that. And you ain't gonna get me with that. You're gonna have to try other things. Then in like a fight, if you're in a fight, like in a street fight, right? Basically, in a street fight, it's different than boxing because there's no rules, but it's more confrontational and it's quicker. And human behavior is much different than boxing. You're not going to be able to do all that boxing shit on the street. It's not going to, it shouldn't anyway work out for you, but you can beat a regular fighter in the street, like a regular. Now, a real street fighter, you might not want to do that. Or someone that's used to going to clubs and fighting, because what they're used to doing is fighting quick, right? Like, pew, like in the moment, right? So a lot of things you have to do it. You gotta create situations. In a regular fight, you're gonna create something. He's talking trash, blah, 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 moving his hands, right? If you go like this to him, what's that gonna do? It's gonna make him go like this, right? If I did this move and I got that reaction out of him, it was for a reason. It was for a reason because I wanted his hand. I made him do that. From that, I'm going to counter. So when you do something first, make sure you know that you're doing something. You're going to get a reaction. Like if I throw this, you know he's going to come this way. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm throwing this one. He's going to throw this way. You see what I'm saying? So you created that. What do you so you got to be a step ahead of your creation, is what I'm trying to say. I did this. I'm sliding. I knew I made that happen. I made it happen. I saw it come through. You see, you're creating situations, and while you train, or if you're like, you start to learn this, you start to develop it, you start to like, okay, if I push you, what are you gonna do? You're gonna come forward? No, you're gonna go backwards. I created that. I created you going backwards. What's the most logical thing you would do next? Come at me. Your weight is coming towards me. I anticipated that. The reason why I pushed you is for you to get mad and come forward. I created that. I pushed you for a reason. I want you to get like amped and come forward. Why? I'm going to use your own weight against you. Boom, trip. Boom. Next thing you know, I'm coming down with my back of my hand, back of your head, smacking your face off the ground. I'm creating this. I'm no longer just throwing punches out of anger. Like, nah. There's better ways to do it. Subtle movement, quicker to the point. You create it. So it's just different. You know what I mean? So, like, those are things in fights. And you could just so many different versions of a fight. There's no wrong punch. You know, I don't think there's any wrong kicks. I think any punch, any kick can be utilized in its correct moment. You don't start a fight with an uppercut, because I wouldn't recommend it. If you threw the first two punches and you missed two punches, never throw the third punch. Never throw that third punch. You're probably going to get knocked out. If he got you missing, if he's in front of you and you went shoot, shoot, brother, just go like that and try to and push off, but don't go straight backwards. Don't like peekaboo and go straight backwards. You don't want to do that. So those are just fundamentals. Those are things that you learn in the ring, just like when you throw a jab and you catch his right. You throw the jab, you catch his right with your glove. Depending on, it's just catch and shoot. Those are the basics. A 1-2. Those are the basics. 1-2-3. That's the basics. 4-5-6. Like that's just the your basic boxing stance. If you're a righty, you're gonna step with your right foot back. When I was a kid and I didn't know how to fight, I actually fought as a lefty until someone saw me fighting and said, "Hey, do like this." Right? It was probably my uncle or my dad or something. I forgot who told me at the time, but I used to fight as a lefty as a kid. And they were like, "Are you all right?" That's the question they ask you. I say, "I with my right hand." He says, "No, you stand like this." You know, and those are just fundamentals. Those are basic fundamental things that you learn, like week one type shit. How to throw a punch, right? Your basic the rule of thumb to throw a proper punch, right? Everybody thinks they know how to throw a punch. The rule of thumb of a proper punch is you throw and you lead with these two. You don't hit with these. These will break. You'll break your hand every time. You don't got gauze around your hand. Not unless you had an opportunity to grab a rag. If you had like a rag or you walked around with a rag and you got to wrap your hand quick and you got to pull that shit, now your hand is tight. Now you can hit, right? But if you hit with these two, you're gonna break your hand. You gotta lead with these. When you snap it, your hand has to be calm, right? Has to be calm. But when you lead, you know what I'm saying? You know, boom. You know what I mean? Like that. Boom. like that. So then that's just like you learn how to hit the bag. You lead with your knuckles, bang, 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 bang. Then you learn how to throw with your weight. When you want to throw a more heavier punch, that you sit down on your punch, that you throw with your weight, you kind of angle it, you hook it like that. You're putting your weight, your torque, and your you know some just throw it straight. Hang, hang. There's a lot of men that are real strong punchers too. They like to like work straight first. If they got you hurt, that's when the hooks come after. You don't hook in the beginning of a fight. You hook when you got the person hurt and then he's leaning, you throw the uppercuts. That's when you start to utilize that. Body shots come whenever. Body shots, you can start them straight body, around the guard type shit, how the fight is playing out. When you want to drop your weight on a dude and you got him hurt and you're able to, throw that punch, throw it with a slight like a curb, like this, like that. Your knuckles are leading the way and you kind of just hook it like that. Don't just like this, all shoulder. You're just throwing it with your shoulder like this. If you throw it like this, like that, tell me how that works out for you. Trust me, I put a lot of dudes down like that. Trust me. And yeah, there's basic things that you'll learn, but yeah, we talk about boxing, we can talk about anything. What's up, guys? Wow, scripture, huh? He throws whatever first. Armando, what are you talking about? What's up, Ghost Rider? How you doing in the building? How you doing, brother? Yeah, you know, as fighters and stuff, it's the I always say this to like anybody I've ever talked to about fighting in a gym. Sometimes I be in there lending the guy's hand, like working the pads and shit with him and shit, and just, also like learning too. But as to the young fighters that I've talked to and shit coming up, I always told them this. For me, one of the biggest pluses you should have in as a fighter that I think like it's really underestimated. I don't know if it's ever talked about because it really doesn't have nothing to do with your hands or anything, right? Confidence. Having confidence in yourself. Just that as a fighter, having confidence in yourself as a fighter, like not thinking if I hit this guy, I'm gonna get him mad. You don't have confidence in yourself. I'll fight that guy, but I won't fight him. You don't have confidence in yourself. Having confidence as a fighter, that was like when Conor McGregor was coming up in his prime in the UFC. That motherfucker was just a ball of confidence. Watching Mayweather come up in his time, he was just a ball of confidence. And some of these guys is like, a lot of people, men have confidence, you still lose a fight. And I'm just saying, but when you can have that, you have most of what you need to become a fighter. If you can believe in yourself, have confidence in yourself, and then be teachable, uh, always search for new ways and new methods, always think about new avenues, angles, learning the shortest way to distance, recognizing when someone doesn't have that and you're thinking too much for them. sometime as fighters, the more skilled you get, you can be in fucking Walmart and all of a sudden this guy gets in an argument with you. You're just like, dude, all right, fuck it. I'm walking away from you. And in your head, he's just as skilled as you are. Like you're thinking too much for him. Then all of a sudden you just because the more you learn about fighting and the more you realize how dangerous fighting is, the more you kind of like respect it. Now all of a sudden people are killers that are normally wouldn't be. You just see this big dude and like, man, if he knew what I knew, like, he'd fucking kill me, right? But I mean, that comes with experience, time, and if you can have confidence in yourself and just know that it'll come, it'll come, it will come, man. Yo, I can remember like my first week of jumping rope. I almost choked myself with it. I was that kid in the corner of the boxing gym, tied up with the rope like this, right? That was me, and I was all fucked up. Um, I was too embarrassed to ask anyone to wrap my hands, right? Because of like who my brother or dad was, right? But by the time I came in, I didn't know. And they were like, "You don't know how to rub your." I was over here like, "Yes, I do." I had like a pillow like that on my hand. It was ridiculous, right? And until you allow yourself to be teachable and not scared of what everybody else is thinking, and you say to yourself, "I don't give a fuck what these guys are looking at me thinking." They watching me hit the bag, and you realize they're thinking the same shit, the exact same shit. And once you get out of your head, you go to work. You start to go to work. And by the months, weeks go by, you start to see that with hard work, you're starting to move better, think better. And then that's when you start to develop yourself as a fighter. And if you come here to this boxing channel here, not only do we talk about the best of the best and some of the upcoming stars, prospects, and top boxing news, but you'll also be educated about the fundamentals, about boxing, about the sweet science. you know and if you're ever thinking about it as a hobby, maybe you'll just want to lose weight, get in boxing shape. It's a great exercise, good way to get your cardio up and everything. Maybe you just want to stay ready. That way you don't have to get ready. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go on a title run, but it's good. It's good to get those muscles moving and stuff. So I would recommend it. But yeah. What else you guys want to talk about? Let me know. Let me know. What? What? Yo, what's up with that right there, huh? Wait, wait. What about? Yeah, he might. Yo. Yo, yo, listen. Yo, I got the soundboard thing, jig a jig. Fucking, I gotta just learn how to connect it. Yo, yo, what's up? Really? Come on, man. I'm gonna be bringing the spit bucket. Yo, do I got like a little towel on my shoulder or something? with the bucket and shit. Come on, Bam. That's that crazy shit, man. Nah, I ain't gonna let you slide on that one, Bam. Nah, ding ding, round one. Y'all crazy. Stay in shape, stamina matters. Ask her. Yeah. And since I've been working out, ask her the difference. Trust me. Trust me. This guy knows what I'm talking about. So, fight fans, listen, I just wanted to get on, touch up with you guys, and get back at it. Look, give the video a like for me. Can we get these likes up? You know, can we get the likes up better? Let's go. Like them likes. And I just wanted to get on and talk a little bit. You know, I wasn't even going to get on today. So I think I'm just going to cut this episode right here short, guys. But listen, it's always fun. Love the energy in the room, in the chat. Thank you for guys stopping by and making this night interesting for me. I always like to talk boxing. And like always, I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. Peace, boxing family.